Hey friends, welcome back to Lies of P walkthrough part 2. We're here in the second chapter and of course we're collecting all the collectibles, again not just the regular ergos or consumables, but all the collectibles that we need and use for the trophies. Yes, all quests and everything else we need can be found here in this guide. So feel free to leave a like or even subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and we'll get started right away by heading to the chest here in chapter 2. This is the very first chest that you'll come across in the game. You can simply go up to it and you'll receive a framer kind of upgrade for your character. You can then equip it under equipment to make your character just a bit stronger overall. Yeah, of course you can do that. Just go ahead and equip the item right away. It's pretty useful. Let's definitely keep going ahead up the ladder on the left side. Make sure to press this thing here so the other ladder comes down, giving us a shortcut. Then we move on, and here you'll encounter a fairly strong enemy. Just take him out. Yeah, with a bit of skill, you'll manage it. Shouldn't be a problem. We continue by crossing over these planks here. That's where we are right now, and now we'll go all the way down this ladder. We need to head down there because there are some moonstones, and of course we need those to upgrade our weapons. Very important. That's why we go down the ladder here and then walk along by the cart over there. And now a few enemies will show up, but you'll take care of them easily. Shouldn't really be a problem. And we'll pick up whatever's there. There's a hidden moonstone here. Of course we'll grab that right away. Great thing for upgrading our weapon. We need it, of course, so let's grab it. Then we keep going all the way here, open this door, and you can also pick up some ergo here, but as I said, that's not really the main focus right now. What's important is that you open these doors so you have a shortcut. Yeah, and then we actually head back up to the roof and keep going until we've taken out the guy up here who's throwing things at us right at the top of the roof, and then we can go along to the left here. There's a small gap in the roof there. Go over it once. You don't necessarily have to go this way. There's another route, but this is the best one since we can now launch an attack from above and take out the dude down there right away. So just jump down, keep pressing Roan, and that way you land on his head, and then you can continue along here. There's a big enemy back there, but we'll get to him in a moment. First head left here, and on the couch over there you'll find a letter from a frozen man. We'll pick that up. Of course we need it for all the collectibles, so we'll grab it. Then continue over here where the big enemy is. There's a chest there with an amulet inside. We'll take that with us. You can grab it by luring the enemy over here, but I definitely recommend taking out the enemy because he also has a few things we need for our trophy. So we can just lure him over here. That's pretty easy because he doesn't really handle this area very well, I'd say. You can kind of mess with him here by just running around in circles and hitting him through the wall every now and then. It's actually pretty simple, and once you've taken him out, you'll get a few nice items from him. So definitely make sure to defeat him, and don't worry, the big enemy will be gone after that too. We're actually gonna get a few more things here, so I'd recommend you take him out properly. Yeah, once you've done that, we'll just keep moving steadily across the roof, making our way carefully, and go all the way through to reach the other side. And of course we'll make sure to put on the amulet that we got from the chest, since it actually increases our maximum HP, which is honestly super useful in this situation. So we'll grab that and then head over to the other side where you'll already see our stargazer, and there's also a merchant in the room to the left. You should definitely go check him out. He has a special club that you can only buy from him, and you should definitely purchase it so you can have all the weapons later on. Yes. Otherwise level up and then continue through the door here. There really isn't any other way to go. You'll end up here. A few enemies will show up, so we'll take care of them of course, and then grab the next collectibles. Then we'll continue across the roof here. Watch out, someone will start throwing things at you again. Be a bit careful, but it shouldn't really be a problem. Let's take out the enemies here. It shouldn't be too difficult, and then we'll end up out here on the roof. Yeah, there are a few more items here we can, of course, pick up over there as well, but first go up and take out the guy who keeps throwing those electric bombs at you. So definitely go up first and either push him off the roof or just take him out directly. You could also sneak up on him from behind, but usually he's already spotted you, so just grab the item. Watch out. Someone else is coming up here. Now take him out as well. And there's something here. Be careful not to fall down. And here we have the grass travel guide. Sides. Of course, we'll take that with us. We need it for our collection, so that later we have all the newspapers, magazines, and everything else you can read here as well. You'll find it back here under the collectibles. We'll need all of them later in order to unlock a trophy. That's why we're grabbing this thing, of course. And then we'll move on, head back down here. So once again, down the ladder where the dude was standing above. Now we can turn on our lantern here and especially grab that thing back there. It's not necessarily one of the collectibles, but we'll pick it up anyway. What's important now is that a little butterfly is about to appear. We need to take it out quickly, so definitely chase after it right away. Be careful not to fall down and make sure to take out the butterfly. It'll drop another Moonstone, which we can use to upgrade our weapons. So it's really important that we take it out. Hidden Moonstone, and you always know one is nearby by a certain sound or when your lamp starts to glow. Yeah, of course we grab that, but before we move on here, we're actually going to head back for a moment because we're going to go down the ladder back there. There are still a few things we need down there before we continue up there through that crack in the wall. But first, let's head down here and down below. Of course, there will be a few more enemies, which we'll take out as usual. You can also use the traps here to, well, stun the enemies. These are the traps right here. If we hit them once, they'll go off shortly after. Of course, you can also use them to lure enemies in. Just hit the trap once, step away, and then the enemies will get caught by it as well. It's important that we briefly trigger the trap here, because behind it there's a small chest. We'll grab that, so go over, open the chest, and you can find something nice inside. Just press it once, and you'll find something really great in there. First, turn off the light and grab the insulation converter here, an upgrade that we can use again to make our character stronger. Then we'll move on. Of course, you can equip yourself however you like, but for now we'll just keep going. Back here there's a window, and it's at this window where the first quest with Toma basically begins. There we can talk to her, and she or High's missing their friend Murphy. So yeah, we talk to her once to start this quest, which we'll also be able to complete in this chapter. After we've spoken with her, we just keep following the path down here below before heading back up to the roof. Just head through here for now, because there are still a few enemies. We'll take care of them, of course. And there's also a hidden Moonstone. Naturally, we want to grab that too. You can already see it glowing on the ground over there. We'll be able to pick it up in a moment. First, take out all the enemies, no problem, super easy, and then we'll grab this hidden Moonstone that we'll find right here. Let's keep moving, head through here, and it's back there by the carriage. We'll go over there, grab the hidden Moonstone, so now we already have a few to upgrade our weapons. Definitely make sure to do that, so your weapons get stronger and you can deal more damage. For example, I already upgraded my sword to level 3 pretty quickly. We'll head around the corner back here, and yeah, having a level 3 sword definitely makes things easier, especially with the great sword. It really packs quite a punch. Let's head over here, take out these enemies, watch out for the traps a bit, and yeah, we'll quickly clear them out because we need to go into the alley back here, into the corner, and of course we'll find something wonderful there. Because if we go through here, there's something in the back left corner, and then we can pick up a hidden Moonstone here. Alright friends, that's it for the alley, so let's head all the way back up the ladder and return to the rooftop where things will continue. Here we can just head back across. So where we caught the butterfly, we can now go into the left here and continue on, just so you know the way. And yeah, we'll just go through here and keep moving forward, which basically brings us to the next area. Yeah, up here we're basically in the next section, and when we come down here there's a pretty tough enemy, a policeman. We have to take him out because he has a police baton that we really need. There he comes in the back, but actually with a little trick he's pretty easy to deal with, and it works like this. When he gets here, you just go over here and lure him a bit, then climb back up the ladder before he can hit you from below, and from up here you can always do a jumping attack. Bam, hit him once, then you can land 2 more hits, taking off a good chunk, 750 damage, and just keep repeating that. Lure him over here and then jump down from above to deal damage, and pretty quickly you'll get the baton of the order police. And of course we'll take that with us, we need it. But it's very important that you climb up the ladder again, because up there you'll find the next hidden quest, which is right here at this window. You can already see there's a woman sitting there, so we talk to her, the weeping woman, and yes, she misses her daughter, as far as I understood it correctly, and of course we tell her that we'll keep an eye out for her. That's very important. There are always different options in the dialogue here, and if you don't choose the right ones, the quest can't be completed. Additionally, in New Game Plus you also have to do the quest with the woman here again, and choose the dialogue options the other way around. So definitely remember how you answered here. Personally, I did it like this. First, we answered that we're looking for the woman or the girl, the doll, whatever it is. And yeah, then we'll continue on through here, through the archway, and we can find a torn scribble here. Yes, and we'll finish the quest soon as well, but more on that a bit later. First, we keep moving forward here and yeah, take out the next enemy. So we keep progressing, unlocking all the shortcuts along the way. And eventually we reach this area here where the guards come out on the left. By the way, you can just keep hitting them even when they're blocking. Eventually their sword will break, and that way you'll get an extra trophy. So go ahead and do that when they're blocking, hit them hard so their sword breaks and you get the trophy. Then we head into the left here, and here we can unlock a shortcut to the elevator and to our first stargazer. And here we use the elevator once, and then we end up back at the merchant upstairs who sold us the club. Be sure to buy the club here, because you can't get it anywhere else, and otherwise you might miss it. In any case, now you should head back, get some upgrades, level up your character and so on, because there's a boss coming up soon, so you should definitely be well powered up. And in the end, we take the elevator back down, continue on, cross the bridge here, and that's where the next boss appears. As always, you can find all boss guides on the channel, and as for the crazy donkey, we can actually take him down pretty easily. That's because his attacks are quite slow. This means we can get behind him pretty easily and hit him from behind, which deals a good amount of damage. Once we've defeated the donkey, we can meet Geppetto for the first time, and he'll give us quite a few items, except for the key to the town hall. Of course, we get the donkey mask and everything else, so we can equip ourselves accordingly and make our upgrades here. As I said, if you're having trouble with the donkey, feel free to check out the channel. There's a boss guide for every boss there as well. Feel free to click through them. While you're at it, don't forget to give a thumbs up or even subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And then, of course, we continue with chapter 2 because we are far from done. We go through this archway here and first head left. As you can see, there's already a big robot on the right. But first we'll head left here and grab the next message at the lantern, great message output 1124. We'll pick that up, of course, so that we have all the collectibles. Very important. Now we need to head to the opposite side, because on the other side there's a relatively strong enemy, I'd say. but you can handle him. I don't see that as a problem or anything. You should definitely be able to beat him. Just use a bit of strategy always. Wait a little until he attacks, then go in. Simply head over here. Take out the enemy right across from where we were, because as you can see there's something lying back there, and that's very important for a quest, so we need to grab it. So take out the enemy here, and once you've done that, which should be pretty straightforward, we can grab the item here, which is the doll belonging to the weeping woman we met at the window. So let's head over here, and you'll already see some corpses. The daughter she's looking for was killed, and here we find a broken baby doll. And now we can take this baby doll back to the woman at the window to complete the quest. But it's very important that you choose a specific response there. We'll get to that in a moment. First, let's continue all the way through here, quickly take out the guards, and in the back area we can pick up something else which we'll grab before we finish the quest with the woman at the window. So let's take out the people here and head to the back left corner. There's a chest there, so we'll grab it, open it, and get our next item, an Amulet of the Doll Destroyer. Pretty cool because it increases your damage. You should definitely equip it. You should still have some amulet slots available, that's why of course we'll equip it to boost our damage. And now let's complete the woman's quest first. So at this point we'll head back to the Stargazer and then teleport to the house. And as you can see here, there's a symbol displayed there, a puppet symbol, which indicates that there's still an active quest available, or rather that we are able to hand over the puppet at that location. Let's take the elevator down now and then head over to the woman who is waiting at the window. If you don't remember exactly where that was, I'll show you again now, so we leave no questions unanswered. There are two big guys here, let's take them out. These two easy enemies, and that shouldn't be a problem. We'll take them out quickly. Of course you can also just run past them, that's no problem at all. But feel free to grab the points here as you go. It doesn't hurt, since we'll have to go back to the Stargazer anyway and recharge our energy there. So you might as well defeat the enemies here and collect the points. We'll just head straight through here, taking the path to the left. That's the way to go. You'll need to get your bearings for a moment, as far as I know. Yes, taking the left here is correct. So we go through here, and then at this warning sign we reach the area where we fought the policeman. We'll climb up the ladder again. And here is the woman at the window. When you go over there now, it's very important that you choose the response with the woman that matches your first answer. So if you were kind and friendly before, you should now of course say cute doll and cute girl doll. If you were mean in your first answer, meaning you lied a little, then you should say, hey, it's just a doll, don't make such a fuss, and so on. So you really need to pay close attention to what you answer here in order to complete the quest correctly. Since we said at the beginning, hey, we're looking for the doll for you, we should now also say, if you do it the same way, she is a sweet human baby. Because I actually did this wrong here. I just answered, that's a doll, and that's actually wrong if you said at the beginning, we'll take care of getting the doll. So that's why you should go ahead and say, that's a sweet human baby, if you decided that at the beginning and said, we'll get the doll. So it's really important that we choose the right answers here. Then we move on and come to the next boss. Here, of course, you can summon a spirit if you need help. But in my opinion, that's actually a waste or not really necessary at all. The boss is coming up now, and as I said, you can find all the boss guides on the channel. There I also explained to you in detail how it works. It's actually not that difficult. Of course, at first it's always a bit tough when you fight the boss here for the first time. You have to learn his combos a bit, but after that it actually works pretty well. Once you've taken him down, you can see it was actually a bit close for me here, but it still worked out, so yeah. But honestly, he's really not that difficult. I think I beat him on my second or third try, so you'll definitely be able to do it too. Now, let's collect all the items the boss drops, cores, and so on. He gives you a decent amount of loot now, and of course we're going to activate the Stargazer here. And, well, with that we've almost completed chapter 2, but there are still a few things left to do. So let's keep going for now. Once you've defeated the boss here, as I said, if you're having trouble, check the channel. We're going to head back to the hotel first and level up there. Of course, we'll spend a few points here so we can level up properly. But what's really important, and the main reason we're actually going to the hotel, is that Geppetto is now waiting for us here, and you'll find him on the second floor. On the second floor we can talk to him and already use our first upgrades to power ourselves up. Most importantly though, we can also attach a new arm prosthesis. You can do all of this upstairs with Geppetto, so go ahead and talk to him and upgrade yourself accordingly to give yourself a bit of an advantage. Personally, what I did was increase my pulse cells first. Of course, it always depends entirely on your playstyle. I also upgraded the ergo from enemies here, so I basically got more soul saw, rather, more ergo from enemies. I always find that useful, especially at the beginning. Yeah, that's my choice. Of course, you can make whatever choice you prefer. Just do it in a way that fits your playstyle. But I think having an extra pulse cell is always really great. And yeah, with 5 pulse cells, life definitely gets a lot easier. As I already mentioned, you can also change an arm prosthesis here. Personally, I didn't find a new one that cool, so I kept the old one. You can do that here at this typewriter or at this device, let's just call it that. And yeah, friends, then we move on. We can simply head back, come out here again, and now we can complete another quest, because if we go over to the bench here, it says friends, and here we find a faded whistle. Yeah, friends, and now we fondly remember the second quest with Toma, where we first met him standing at the window by the trash can, and now we need to bring the whistle over there. But first, let's go back inside the building and grab the travel guide, this next important brochure that we need for all our collectible items. Of course, we'll take all of that with us, making sure not to forget anything, and then basically head back to Toma at the window to finally complete the quest together. So let's head back here. You surely remember this roof here. Now that we already have our religion weapon, we can easily take out the enemies here. It's actually pretty simple. And once we are back at the roof, well, of course we go up there first and take out the dude. But we can also just go down the ladder right here, since the quest is right below at the window next to the trash can. So let's go over there now, talk to him. And then we realize, yeah, something has to happen here. That means the whistle we found, we go into our inventory and use it so we can complete the quest here. So go down and look, where is this whistle? I think it was further to the right under consumables or something like that. Functional items, yeah, somewhere under quest items, it's here somewhere. No. A bit further. Costume, here it is. Collectibles, faded whistles, exactly. We'll use it here by the window, and with that the task is done. He's happy to hear the sound of the whistle again, and yes, of course you also get a small reward. What's important is that we've completed the quest here, and that it counts towards our game progress, so we can finish all the quests later. And with that, we've already completed the Toma quest. That's really important, and of course we'll also collect our reward. It's not the most amazing reward, but at least we get to take it with us. What's important is that we've completed the quest and that it counts towards our game progress. Now we'll head all the way back to where we basically left off, where we defeated the boss, use the Stargazer again, then move on. And back here we can unlock this door. After going through the door on the right in the corner, we'll find this wonder healing item, a newspaper flyer, a clipping that we definitely want to take with us. Yes, we've almost made it. Chapter 2 is almost done, but there are still a few things we need to do. Things we need to find, and this is really important at the end. Before you go into the factory, go to the right here, because there's a telephone. We need to go there, pick it up, and these telephones are very important. You should remember that. It's also very important to know that these usually lead to a puzzle which is time limited. So you have to answer relatively quickly. Always pay close attention to what they say on the phone. Don't just skip or click through it, because that could cause problems later on. If you don't solve the puzzle, you won't get the key and you won't be able to go through the secret door. So it's very important that you answer the puzzle correctly here in order to get the key. We can then use that key in chapter 3. We'll get to that in the next video. We get the key here by answering the question. He asks us some questions here, or rather he gives us a puzzle and we have to answer human. It's very important if we choose human, then we've got it right and receive a key as a reward which we can then use on the secret door. It's absolutely crucial that we do this process correctly, because if we happen to mess it up, the result gets saved right away and unfortunately we can't repeat it or try again. So always make sure to carefully answer the questions on the phone correctly, and yes, you'll receive the Trinity Key, which we can then use on a special door in chapter 3 that has a unique symbol on it. Alright, well friends, that pretty much wraps it up for us. Now just head all the way through to the next Stargazer in the factory, and that's where we'll be in chapter 3. I'd be happy to have you join me again if you want. So feel free to leave a like or subscribe, and then we can go through chapter 3 together and collect all the collectibles, so you won't miss anything and can definitely get the platinum trophy. Alright friends, I hope you have a lot of fun. See you next time, I'd be really happy. So until then, adios and ciao ciao.